Hey, ladies. Thank you for tuning in today to High Heels and Destiny. Welcome. I am glad that you are here today watching me. Thank you, ladies. Today's message is run for your life. Okay? Run for your life, girl. Run, and don't look back. Okay? Run. The reason I want to talk about this today is because sometimes in life, there are certain situations that we want to attach ourselves to, but God won't let it happen. For instance, we may have a past boyfriend that we really like, and we really want to be with this person, and it just seems like it won't work out right. No matter how much you try, it just doesn't work out, and we'll keep going back to what's familiar because we don't like change. But also remember, ladies, that change is good for the soul. But anyhow, we don't like change, so we'll go back to a place where it's comfortable. It's time invested. It's a familiar place. And we won't allow ourselves to open up to something new because we feel like new is just a little bit difficult. When something is new, it takes a little bit more work. So why do something new when I can just stay in this same situation? But God sometimes knows what's best for us. And when God knows that, He won't allow us to attach ourselves to certain situations. For example, we have all had that ex-boyfriend, whether it was one or two, that ex-boyfriends where no matter what we do or how hard we try to cling on to that person, it just never works out. And we'll keep going back, and no matter how hard we try, it just never works. Honey, sometimes you have to put on your big girl shoes and you have to run for your life because God sees some things that we don't see sometimes. God can see something and see something in that person and characteristics in that person, and He love you just enough for you to be like, for Him to be like, what? No. You are too good for Him. But we'll continue to go back and we'll try to reopen something that needs to be closed, because there are certain chapters in your life, honey, that needs to be closed, but we won't close that chapter. We'll read the book from front to back, and we'll go back and we'll open that chapter up again. But sometimes God don't want you to reread that book again. He wants you to open up a new book because He got a new book with more chapters that's got more information that can change your life. But if you continue to go back to that old book and open that old book and you read those same pages, you're not allowing yourself to elevate mentally, emotionally, physically. You're not allowing yourself to elevate. Okay, ladies? So going back to what I was saying, we all have that ex-boyfriend or had more than one. I'm pretty sure they had more than one. Let's be honest about it. Where, you just seem not to be able to let him go. No matter what you do, you just can't let him go. And the Bible does talk about strongholds where you can be connected to that person spiritually in a bad way, and it can cause a stronghold. Well, no matter what you do, you just like, I just can't get over him. I just can't get enough of him. But there comes a time in life where you just got to let it go, and you got to run for your life. You got to run, because sometimes we be in a place where we just feel like, we like this particular person. Sometimes it don't even be love. It be lust, because sometimes us as women, we can confuse the two. We can confuse love and lust. And sometimes they may feel the same way, but in actuality, they are not. Lust is that person where it just seems like when you first meet them, it's just like you head over here. You just can't get enough of them. You got the ooby goobies. You just need to be around them, where you're in a place and you just cannot control yourself. You just like, oh my God, you just out over the place when it comes to that person. It's an out of control love for that person. That is a lust. Love is more control. You can control love more. You can still love a person. You don't have to be in that place where, when that person comes around, you just can't control yourself. Or if that person does something to hurt you, you just all over the place. You can't control yourself. There's a big difference between love and lust. And although they can feel the same, but they're completely different. Okay. But anyway, sometimes, lady, there's a point in your life where you need to run for your life. And we sometimes, it was women, when a situation don't go right, like say for instance that particular guy or guys that you have liked in your life, and you at home and you crying and you're like, oh, I really like him, he was my baby, and oh, we've been together. But I mean, let's be honest about it, he was a cheater. And you just know that, or either he was a ladies' man, he could have been flirtatious, whatever it may have been, deep down in your heart, like, this ain't the guy that's for me, but you really just got that attachment to him. And that's more so of a lust rather than a love, because it's something that's really not good for you, but you still allow yourself to stay connected to that, or you won't allow yourself to break from that. And that's what it's called, a stronghold. But anyway, when you're in situations like that, rather than running away from, and God's like, no, he loved you enough to be like, no, I'm not going to allow you to get yourself in that situation. I'm going to break this up right now. But us, sometimes we'll go back and we'll reopen ourselves up to more hurt again. That person to cheat on us again. We'll just continue to just go back, and years have passed by, and we allow ourselves to go through those same situations with that person, and that person never changed. And then when you finally get the strength to just move on in your life, and you feel like, oh my God, like all this time that I wasted on this person, and this person really wasn't worth it. And then, you know how we can do sometimes, ladies, when we really, really like somebody, we do that prayer to God, like, Lord, please, God, I know he the one for me, God. God, just please let us be together. That's my baby. He loved me and I love you. I mean, he loved me and I love him. And God, I know what I'm talking about. Listen at your girl. I know what I'm talking about. That's my baby. He is the one and the only one. You know that prayer you pray to God. And then when months or years pass by and you like, oh, Lord, thank you, Jesus, won't you do it? I am so glad that we did not end up together. Like, because he is a hot mess. And that just goes to show you, ladies, like, God know what is best for us. But sometimes we'll continue to run back, and we'll continue to run back to what's not good for us. But sometimes you have to get to a place when a person really show you who they are. You have to run for your life. Run for your life, okay? And you count it honor to be able to run for your life, because as women, sometimes we're very emotional connected. We're more emotional beings. And I got to a place in my life, when a relationship didn't work out with a guy, and, us as women, like if a guy cheat or whatever he may do and it hurt you, and we cry, you have to get to a place where you be like, you know what? I am not going to waste my tears on him, because when you know who you are and whose you are, and you are a child of God, when you know who you are, you don't have time to waste your tears on something that's not even worth it. If she took him, let her have him. If he was a cheater, if he was a manipulator, if he was a guy that was flirtatious, if he was just a lazy guy that didn't want to work, he could never be faithful, and you sitting here and you got the audacity to be crying. Why are you crying, honey? There's no reason why you should be crying. Sometimes you have to get to a place and you have to put your big girl shoes on to be like, you know what? Lord, thank you. Lord, you know what? Thank you. When you feel like you're about to cry, you say, Lord, thank you. Lord, thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Because that could have been me. That could have been me. They could have been married to that person that wasn't faithful, or they could have been me stuck forever with that guy in that relationship, and we would have never went anywhere, and I could have constantly continued to get my heart broken over and over and over again. But God loved you just enough for him to be like, I'm not going to allow you to attach yourself to that, because I got better in store for you. God can have better in store for you, for the great guy that he wants for you. But if you don't want it, and if you don't put yourself in a position mentally and emotionally to be available to get it, how can you ever get it, honey? You cannot get it. There comes a time you have to run for your life when situation seems not to be able to go right, whether it's friends or family, or your just relationships with people that you're in, and it won't connect and it won't attach to you right. Stop crying. Stop stressing. Get to the place where you just run. You keep running, because when you continue to run, And let me clarify this. When I say run, I'm not saying run away from problems, but I'm saying running like, Lord, thank you. Let me keep moving on. I'm saying running as in moving on. You're moving on to the next thing. You don't have time to just be wasting. You have to know your self-worth. You have to know your self-value, because if you do not know these things, you will continue to repeat the same cycle over and over and over again. You know, we all have had that guy, or guys, more than one, where we cry. We be like, oh Lord, we in the middle of the night, we just crying. We know he a cheater. We know he ain't no good. We know he'll talk to everything that's walking around, and you have the audacity, yes, I said it, to sit and cry. But sometimes you have to be like, when you feel yourself crying, it's okay if you shed a tear or two. You cry, you know, for a little second or two, but then you be like, you give yourself a time and be like, I'm not gonna waste my time on this. I'm not gonna waste my time crying over him, because I know who I am. And you know what, Lord, thank you for not allowing me to be the woman to end up with him. Thank you, God, for sparing me so that I can move on and so that I can find the right person that's just for me, ladies. Ladies, like I always say, you have to know your self-worth. You have to know your self-worth. Your self-worth is like your net worth. You know how when people have a net worth? Okay, that's like your self-worth. It's worth so much. It's probably not even, it's not a number you can put on your self-worth. But there is a number on your net worth, but there's not a number that you can put on your self-worth, ladies. You have to get to the place where you just got to put on your big girl shoes. You know, we get to that place sometimes, and like I said before, where it's a difference between love and lust, where we trying to get over a particular guy, and you get that phone call in the middle of the night, and you know you sleep, and they're like, hey, what's up, you sleep? And you like, oh no, I'm up. And you know you was asleep. You know you was asleep. But when you value yourself enough, he's not going to call you at 1 o'clock in the morning. He's not going to call you at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's not going to call you at 3 o'clock in the morning. If he can't call you at a reasonable time and say, hey, how you doing? Hey, I want to stop by and visit you. Or either, hey, how you doing? Let me take you out to dinner. If he can't call you at a decent hour of the night, you shouldn't be picking up that phone at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. You jumping out of bed. You know you sleep. You know you got to go to work the next day. But when you get that one phone call, oh no, I'm up. And then once you do what you do, and then when he leave, you feel trashy. Okay, let's be honest about it. You feel trashy. Okay. It goes all back to knowing your self-worth. Putting yourself in a situation being like, you know what? No. If you can't value the woman that I am, if you can't treat me like the woman that I need to be treated, if you can't call me at a respectable time of the night, you get none of my time. Okay? None of my time. Absolutely none of my time. We have to get to a place where we stop allowing a guy to come in and dictate to us how they want to treat us. Okay? You have to know how you want to be treated as a woman. But a person will only treat you the way that you allow them to the only way that you will allow yourself to be treated. Okay, you have to stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And if you don't stand for something, you'll constantly be falling. And you'll be going through life and you'll be falling. And then you'll be going through life and you'll be falling. And then you'll be blaming everybody else. It's everybody else's business. I mean, it's everybody else's fault, but it's never your fault. No, it's your fault. At some point in time, we get to a certain age, we got to do better. We got to know better, because if we can never know what we need to do for ourselves, then how do we expect things to change in our life? Okay, so like I said once before, ladies, run for your life. When you meet a guy, or if you date a guy and he cheap, he lazy, he's a cheater, he's a manipulator, whatever he may be, just a hot mess, and you want to sit around when it don't work, you want to cry, you be like, I ain't finna cry. I ain't finna cry. His loss. I'm not finna cry. Because when you do that, you build yourself up. You give yourself strength, and you start to learn, like, you know what? I'm worth a little bit more than that. I'm worth a whole lot more than what he can give me. Okay? So, ladies, just remember, Stop selling for less. Don't get that phone call in the middle of the night that makes you change your whole life around. Remember, it's a difference between love and lust. So when you get these guys and you see the red flags, don't allow yourself to ignore what God is already making clear to you. You really have to take heed to the signs, okay? Because if you don't take heed to the signs, we'll always be in a situation where we make excuse for the situation, okay? But sometimes we just have to accept that this is who they really are. And you just have to really believe like this is him, okay? So just remember, ladies, embrace yourself, love yourself, because no one can do you better than you can, okay? And also remember, ladies, when you look down on the left hand side, I think it's right down here, it's a red button, it says subscribe. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and once you hit that button, a bell is going to pop up. Hit the bell one time, and therefore you can get all the notifications. Excuse me. You can get all the notifications, so every week when I update a video, it comes to you, it'll alert you, okay? So just, share my messages to other women. I love to be able to be an inspiration to other women. I put myself at a vulnerable state because I feel like things that I have went through my life, God allowed me to go through these things not only to learn, but also to be a blessing to someone else, okay? So I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to High Heels and Destiny. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.